What's up guys? Welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm JANICE ENOLPE.
I'm CHRIZELLE and GARCIA.
I'm CRUZ and LUCIO CALAñas. I'm VINCENT.
And we are the Group 6. For today's video, we're going to discuss about
Global warming,
Adaptation, climate change,
and transnational migration and overseas Filipino workers. Handa na ba kayo? Aras na!
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm RICO SANICO. This afternoon we will tackle about global warming. We proceed to our discussion this afternoon. May I read first our objective? First, this topic that we discuss will give you an ideas of the skill or competencies you are expected to learn in this module. Second, in this portion, lessons will be introduced to you in various ways. Third, this section provides a brief discussion of the lesson to aims help you discover and understand new concept and skills. Fourth, this provides an activity which will help you transfer your new knowledge or skills.
global warming. As the Earth temperature rises, a huge amount of ice melts, causing a large volume of water to flow into the ocean. Since ice caps and glaciers have begun to melt, species that reside in such habitats have begun to relocate, potentially leading to extinction due to habitat loss. Because of the cost of water evaporated into the air as the sea levels rises, high levels of precipitation will occur, and the earth will suffer intense rain or storms. Carbonic acid is created when carbon dioxide dissolves in seawater, acidifying the ocean as indicated by a pH shift. Furthermore, animals produce a lot of methane. Some fertilizers also produce nitrous oxide, a greenhouse gas that contributes to the rise in global temperature. The greenhouse effect is a phenomenon in which radiation from the Earth's atmosphere warms its surface to a temperature higher than it would be killed in the country alone. Higher sides with warranted for the strongest landfalling tropical cyclone on record according to GIWC estimates of 1 minute sustained winds. Bodies were still being discovered in January 2014. The Typhoon Yolanda phenomenon is one of the many difficult issues that threaten to devastate Philippines, civilization, and the rest of the world. It had an impact on the Filipinos' psychological, emotional, and mental well-being as well as the world community's charity in the times of need regardless of political allegiance. Yolanda was said to have been caused by global warming and climate change. The issue is that the most of us are aware that climate change will have a significant impact on our society, but we do not fully comprehend the phenomenon. The occurrences in various parts of the globe have an impact on all people on the planet. All attempts to understanding and predicting the possible implications of climate change are dominated by uncertainty. Climate change, on the other hand, will have an impact on every area of society: the environment and the economy, human behavior, livelihood, infrastructure, laws, and regulations are likely to be impacted.
And now, let's proceed to our next topic is the climate change. Ano nga ba ang climate change? Ano nga bang ating dapat gawin upang maiwasan ito? Climate change refers to long-term shifts may be natural, but since the 18th, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas, which produces heat-trapping gases. Climate change has arisen as a result of global warming. These terms are sometimes used interchangeable, but they are distinct. Change in weather patterns and growing seasons all around the world are referred to as climate change. It also refers to the rise in the sea level caused by warmer oceans expanding in the melting ice sheets and glaciers. Climate change is a result of global warming and it poses a severe threat to human life. Haiyan, also known as Super Typhoon Yolanda, in the Philippines, was one of the most intense tropical storms ever recorded and was caused in part by climate change. Ano nga ba ang dapat gawin o mga paraan upang maiwasan o masolusyonan ang problemang kinakaharap natin dulot ng climate change? There are 5 ways to avoid climate change. First, tree planting. Ang mabilis na pag-init ng planeta ay isa sa mga dahilan sa pagnipis ng ating ozone layer dulot ng climate change. Kaya naman, ang pagtatanim ng puno ay hindi basta-basta. Ang mga punong kahoy ay labis na makatutulong upang mabawasan ang labis na init na siyang makasisira sa kalikasan.
Our next topic is about adaptation to climate change, way to adapt to the situation of global warming. Practice conservation of natural resources. Air, water, soil, minerals, plants, and animals are all natural resources on the planet. Conservation is taking care of their resources so that a living being can benefit from them and now in the future. Reduce pollution and waste. For on-the-go refreshments, use a reusable bottle cup. Bringing your own water with you reduce the likelihood of buying more expensive beverage on the go. This will get rid of the single-use containers they can use. Reusable supermarket bags are useful for more than simple groceries. You may already have a reusable grocery bag similar to a reusable water bottle, but it is sometimes forgotten at home. Make prudent purchase and recycle what you can. You may limit the amount of garbage you make by selecting products that have less wrapping or come in recyclable packaging. Should be composted. Compose and use your fruit and vegetable waste, eggshells, coffee grounds, grass clippings, and leaves in your plants. Use water. Collecting part of the water you use in the shower is the simplest way to start using water at home. A simple bucket would suffice. Simply place its benefit the stream while waiting for the water to warm. Then move it in front of you once you jump into the water that can be used to flush the toilet or irrigate your garden. Recycle products. Newspapers, magazines, mixed paper, canned board, tin cans, aluminum cans, glass jars, and plastic containers are examples of products that can contain recycled material. Conserve energy. The effort to reduce energy consumption by utilizing less of an energy service is known as energy conservation. This can be accomplished by either using energy more efficiently or lowering the amount of service provided.
Are the global responses? Adaptation is a long-term process of making lasting changes in response to climate change, with strong policy connection to economic development, poverty reduction, and disaster management measures at the international, national, regional, municipal, and community levels. Successful adaptation programs will include long-term thinking and consideration of climate change implications, climate change vulnerabilities, relevant technologies, capability, and local coping strategies, as well as government policies and actions must all be considered in adaptation planning. The Governmental Panel on Climate Change stated that unavoidable climate change in fact exceeds present coping capability, necessitating the implementation of adaptation measures by societies and ecosystems. PCC defines adaptation as adjustment of natural or human system to existing or anticipating climatic stimuli or their effects that mitigates harm or leverages favorable opportunities despite the fact
that there are apparencies between disaster risk management and adaptation. The two approaches are supported by separate institution, methodologies, and policy frameworks. Adaptation has a high price cost. According to the UN Climate Change Secretariat, developing nations will need between 28 and $67 billion by 2030 to adapt climate change. Global adaptation funding is currently a fraction of what is required. Adaptation isn't one of problem. It will have to be factored into all future growth plans at the international, national, regional, municipal, and community level. Successful adaptation programs will include long-term thinking and consideration of climate change implications.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of transnational migration? Advantage. Overseas Filipino workers are a well-known example of transnational migration. According to the 2011 Philippine Overseas Employment Agency, overseas Filipino workers, they are the Filipinos who are employed in foreign countries. They travel abroad to seek better opportunities in order to provide for the needs and send money to their families in the Philippines. People flee to neighboring nations as a result of overpopulation. These people relocate to other countries because they believe their current home no longer has adequate space for them. It's a global phenomenon that's only becoming bigger in the terms of scope, complexity, and influence. Migration is a source and result of larger development. Disadvantages of transnational migration include anxiety about the destabilizing impact of migrations and families. Individuals make choices based on their ideas of what is best for them. However, these choices can have a long-term impact on communities and the country. Educational and professional and objectives were integrated into their perception of the international labor market. Migration from the Philippines is expected to continue even if the government does not intervene, given to the growth of social networks, social capital, and social remittances. Sending 1 million workers per year indicates that the migration will play a significant role in the country's long-term development plans and properties. Usual turn of events, the Philippines has become so successful as a labor exporter that it has neglected to establish and deepen development processes. Elevate household financial restrictions, send their children to school, and immigrate. The Philippines has 10,455,788 OFWs spread throughout 236 countries and territories, making it one of the top 3 labor-sending countries.
And that's our topic. I hope you learned something. And don't forget to
Like,
share
subscribe, comment.
and click the notification bell for more coming videos. Thank you for watching. Bye!